and you can see the medial lemniscus. I already said that they are arranged in a specific fashion. From the lower body, the sensory fibers get into the spinal cord and ascend through the dorsal column towards the medium. In upper body, the coming fibers more lateral to the dorsal column, and when they reach in the medulla, where we can see second order neurons in the nucleus gracillae and nucleus cuneus, and second order neurons, they decussate or cross over and they ascend, and these fibers are known as medial lemniscus, and they ascend to the ventro-posterolateral nucleus of thalamus. From we have tertiary order neurons, they get ascended to cortex. So the anterolateral system or spinothalamic tract crossover at spinal cord. So the fibers are coming, and we have the primary order neurons in the dorsal root ganglion, and second order neuron present in the spinal cord, and the tertiary are located in the thalamus. And pain, temperature, tickle, itch, poorly localized touch are the functions of anterolateral system. The dorsal column have primary order neuron in the located in the dorsal root ganglion, and second order neurons located in the medulla, and tertiary order nucleus is located in the thalamus. Okay, and discriminate touch, shape, size, structure, vibration, proprioception, weight, you can see these are the functions. And the criteria for a sensory pathway. So we have three levels, the receptor levels, from the receptors up to the spinal cord. Receptor we can see free nerve ending, muscle, spindle and joint, and circuit from spinal cord to thalamus, and above the thalamus you can see the perceptual level. All sensation has to pass through the thalamus. Three order neuron pathway is essential. Body represented in the contralateral cerebral hemisphere, that is the pain and temperature from contralateral area get ascent into the brain, and also the fine touch, the 2-point discrimination touch, also contralateral. In description of tract we can learn these subjects, we already learned, and as a conclusion, the ascending spinal tracts, they convey the sensory information from cutaneous receptors, proprioceptors and visceral receptors to the cerebellum. And you can see from the leg and from the arm, the sensory input is get into medulla and they decussate. And we have the medial lemniscus is the axons of the second order neuron and get into thalamus. From the thalamus there is third order neurons and get into the cerebral cortex. The sensory fiber tract decussation may occur in medulla or spinal cord. The decussation for spinal thalamic tract is within the spinal cord. And for dorsal column pathway, the decussation were placed in the medulla. Okay. Proprioceptors means from the joints, muscles, tendons. These are the points I already said that. Medulla for DCP and spinal cord for SGP. That's all. And ascending tract. The major ones are posterior column, anterolateral system, and the spinocerebellar tract. Okay, we can just talk about the spinocerebellar tract. We know our cerebellum is always analyze what is the actual position of the body. So every time the sensory input is coming into the cerebellum, and the cerebellum knows what is the actual body's location. So spinal cerebellar tract, there is two types, dorsal and the ventral.